The fashion industry is the world's second worst polluter, only behind oil, accounting for 10% of all global emissions. The most disturbing part about this number is that 40% is completely avoidable. 40% of all garments produced are never purchased, and 84% of them either end up in the landfill or incinerated. This atrocity is mainly caused by a mismatch in supply and demand and size-related returns that are seldom restocked. We have built infrastructure, 3D detect, and network to tackle this problem head-on while revolutionizing the online shopping experience for the end consumer. Our infrastructure empowers brands to seamlessly transition from mass production to made-to-order. Think Uber Eats-like infrastructure, but for fashion. Our 3D tech that empowers their customers to create a 3D avatar of themselves with just their smartphone, and then be able to visualize how custom-fit garments will actually look like on them before they're ever made. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, how does this technology actually work? To get started, you simply download a native application, you put the phone on a tabletop, you take a few steps back, and you spin around 360 degrees. You then select your skin tone, and then our algorithm will do the rest. All in, the whole process takes less than 5 minutes. We've already achieved a 97% level of accuracy. To put that in perspective, that's far more accurate than being measured by professional tailor. Once the customers created their 3D avatar, they're free to go start shopping on brands' websites. As part of our private beta, we've created a small women's wear testing collection in-house to validate our algorithms. But what you're seeing in front of you right now is also being built out as an API for integrations directly into other brands' websites. Here's a juxtaposition of a real garment that we produced on the right-hand side versus its virtual representation on the left. When the customer actually presses the try on button, our proprietary made-to-fit algorithm actually custom tailors the garment directly to the person's unique body proportions, almost in real time. In order to achieve this level of photorealism, we actually take the physical fabric and we run it through 2 different pieces of hardware, obtaining its real-life physics and texture properties. As you can see, the process yields uncanny results. Now, in order to facilitate a seamless transition to a scalable version of made-to-order for our partner brands, we've created a made-to-order ecosystem. Our made-to-order dashboard allows them to easily onboard their 3D assets and be able to manage their 3D collections. It also allows them to find and communicate with made-to-order manufacturers, as well as one-click reorder fabric from sustainable textile suppliers. As it stands, we have 17 brands on waitlists, and we're on track to launch pilots with the first 3 late this summer. Now, to sum it all up, the problem is clear. Overproduction is the main culprit killing our planet. The solution is radically simple. Only produce what we sell. Our mission is to transition the entire fashion industry to made-to-order. Now, we realize this is going to take some time, but real change always does. Join us in our movement to forever change the way we shop for, interact with, and produce apparel. Thank you, guys.
How does it fit in the reality with e-commerce where people want to have their clothes in, I don't know, 24 hours?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've interviewed, we did a quick survey for 300 women, and we found that as far as priorities goes, fit was the most important consideration for women in terms of what their priorities are. It went fit, price point, brand, and speed. Speed was actually, ironically, the least important factor, and fit was the most important factor in consideration when buying clothing. So people are willing to wait if they know it's going to fit them.
Thank you. I definitely would wait as well. I'd love to see your solution integrated in way more online shops.
Absolutely. Since I do have, I think I have another minute, maybe I'll also clear up one point that I was hoping was going to be asked from one of the questions. One question we often get asked is in terms of margins. People often associate made-to-order with really expensive margins, so how are we going to mitigate that? When it comes to overproduction and returns, those 2 factors make up 30 to 40% of top-line revenue for the average brand. Without those numbers in mind, we figured out that we can have higher production costs and higher delivery costs, but still come in at the same price point for any brands that are at $80 or above. What this means is that today, that's the market we can start servicing, brands above $80, and provide them with the same or better margins, but actually allow them to target a wider demographic. Right now, any particular brand fits perfectly about 30% of the population for women. Imagine that they're able to now target 100% of the population. And of course, by providing a superior experience, that also is going to help them drive more sales. And of course, that's also going to allow them to align with SDG goals, which of course, we all know here's the right thing to do, but at the same time is extremely marketable and therefore profitable. The brands that are currently at $80 or above, make up a $304.5 billion market share in just North America, Europe, and Australia. However, our long-term goal is to be able to actually tackle the entire market, and we have a 10-year plan to be able to do that. It looks like Brian is asking a question as well. We would like to ask a question as well.
Yeah, I'm curious if you're looking for existing manufacturers to work with you, how well does the idea of made to order fit into the current manufacturing process, and what kind of modifications would they have to adopt if they're gonna partner with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way we've kind of worked it, so there's two main processes in manufacturing when it comes to garments. The first one is cutting, and the second one is sewing. On the cutting front is where a lot of the, you can call it economies of scale, are lost. In mass production, what happens is they'll take fabric, they'll layer it like 100-fold, and they're able to cut like 100 fronts of a small, 100 backs of a small. In our case, of course, they're going to be cutting everything single ply. However, when it comes to the actual sewing, a lot less of the efficiencies are lost. The way we're setting up their production lines is similar to how they would produce samples. So, and sample sewers will sew a whole garment end to end. So that's exactly what we're doing, is we're setting up big lines like that. And of course, our production costs are slightly higher than mass production, but as we mentioned to you, that's offset by us finding other efficiencies, such as lowering the overproduction and lowering the returns.